Hello Amazon.com, it's me, Beau, hence the bow tie. As you know, I review and test all sorts of interesting things across the internet. Gadgets, gizmos, weapons, backpacks, and in this particular case, a book. This is a curiously Christian comic strip, and it's specifically called Thy Kingdom Comics. I almost said Thy Kingdom Come because I'm used to saying the Lord's Prayer. In case you don't know, I am a Christian, and in this particular case, this is a Christian comic book. Now, I grew up with the Wittenberg Door and some somewhat irreverent comics that were sort of this commentary on Christianity and the Christian faith. Now, I love Jesus a ton. I live for him, and I would be willing to die for him. And when it comes to commentary on the Christian faith, this is a very, very unique way of getting across certain truths. Now, you may or may not agree 100% with Adam 4D, also known as Adam Ford. Clever, very clever. But as Ronald Reagan once said, if you disagree with someone 20% of the time and you agree with them 80% of the time on some fairly solid truths like Jesus is the Messiah, he is God, the Trinity, and things like that, they are not an enemy. They're actually your ally. So if you are one of those uptight Christians, this is probably not the book for you. Look, I just offended all my fellow brothers and sisters out there, but really, grace is very important. And if you are looking for something for your coffee table, this is a rather intriguing way of breaking down barriers. Now, about this book, much of the content sort of follows, in my humble observation, the Socratic dialogue. Not Socratic method in that where Socrates would ask questions, the dialogue. If you have ever been a student of philosophy and read any of the Socratic works, captured by Plato and other writers, there's a lot of dialogue going on. Basically, there's a character who asks questions or basically banters back and forth with another character. And in this particular case, they're always different characters, but the point is to get to a certain truth. And it's a very, very effective way of getting across certain truths. And let's be honest, we all have these inner dialogues at some point. Like you're standing in the shower and you say one thing and you picture the other person's response. And you go back and forth, as particularly with theology questions or even politics or things like that. At least that's me. And so it's kind of refreshing to see a comic strip where it has these fairly tough principles being discussed between these two people. And so this could be, oh boy, some fairly controversial issues like abortion, homosexuality, tolerance, and all sorts of theological issues that will just make your palms sweat with delight. So I would suggest picking this up. It is over 230 pages. Let me flip through here really quickly. Yeah, 235 pages. That's pretty nuts. So that's a lot of comics. And it is black and white, and I was actually asked Adam, the author, about this. I don't know him personally. This is a fair and unbiased review about this, but I asked him, or he actually mentioned the black and white thing. And that's actually specific, that's purposeful to make it affordable, as opposed to spending a ton of money on ink to make this colored. The cover, of course, is colored and it looks rather nice. And I just noticed the little grasshopper at the top. I wonder what that's in reference to. Well, if you are a fan of Adam Ford and if you follow him on Facebook and on the internet, you probably missed quite a few of his comics because he does do this full time and he pumps them out fairly quickly and frequently. And so this would be a great way of having a physical copy of his comics in your sweaty little palms, and you will be able to have this on your coffee table or read it to your children as they fall asleep and impose all sorts of wonderful truths in them. This will stretch you, this will challenge you, this will make you laugh, this will make you cry. Yes, there are quite a few serious comics as well. And I hope that this is helpful in determining whether or not this is the right book for you. My personal opinion would be to take the plunge, and you would be supporting Adam. Again, I don't know him personally, but I do know the fact that he does do this full time, and he has a family that he supports through his endeavors doing this. And if you disagree with some of these, then good. That means you're being stretched and challenged. Go ahead and pick up a copy of Thy Kingdom Comics. That's my own humble opinion. 5 out of 5 stars. My name is Beau, and I look forward to testing, demonstrating, and reviewing more fun things here on Amazon.